Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to give a look here at chapter 15, orthographic projection, but it's looking at curved surfaces. So it starts off down here by looking at the cylinder. Now the cylinder in the 3D here, you know it's a curved surface looking at the front view, but when you draw it, it looks like a rectangle, even though it is curved. And that's the front view. It looks like a rectangle. It is curved because the middle is closest to you and the sides are getting far away from you. Now we're not going to draw this one. We're going to move on. And we're going to look over here at 15.1 and 15.2. So both of them there, that one's a grain silo. So, you know, it's a little model of a grain silo. So we're asked to draw the front view and the top view of that. And then, and then afterwards, we're, we're going to be drawing the front view and the top view of the salt bottle. So we're going to start out with the grain silo here. So the front view and the top view of that, and the first thing I'd be checking there is, what is the top height? 60 and 20, 80 and 5. So it's 85 high and it's radius 40. So 85 high, radius 40. So I want to come down here from the top of the sheet. I want to come down about 100. So that's down about 100. That's going to be the ground. Now it's radius 40. Now there is a lot to be said for, if I come down 10 and then 40. Okay, so I'm after coming down 10 and 40. Now that 40, I want to draw the top view first. And I'll tell you why. Whenever you're doing front views and top views and side views of stuff that's cylinders or cones, you're better off to draw the circle first. So there is our top view of this silo. So it's a radius 40 circle, so it's 80 wide. Now looking down on top of that, you're also going to see a radius 12 circle in the middle as well. So I'll draw that next. Now I'll just put a light line across here, really light. I want to measure out radius 12. So that's 12 there. And this is the neck, the opening on that tank. So there's our top view. Now it's so much easier to draw the circles first and bring up the left and bring up the right, and we'll just check now again. So it goes 60 straight up and then 20 more up to the neck of it up here, which is 5 high. Okay, so 60, 25. They're my three important heights. So I can do the 60 heavy. Now, the next bit then is 20 high and 5 high. Now I'm just going to mark them with dots. Okay, now I might just zoom in on this so you can see, because we know then that that's 5 for the neck, and this now is where our projection comes in. So I know that the neck is between here and here. So there's the neck. So I can heavy that in. And the sloping sides then, and this is important now, the sloping sides here, you just join the dots here now. So we know that goes down to here, and the other side goes down to there, and that, we're almost finished there now. I just will finish off by putting in this line here heavy, because that's where the vertical curve turns into a cone. Now this is actually a cut cone going in there. Now finally, I want to draw a freehand of that down underneath. So I think I'll start with the top. So that's small enough. There's our ellipse. Goes down a little bit, down a little bit, and the same curved ellipse. It widens out fairly flat like this, and another curve along here like this, then straight down. Now again, I don't care about measurements here, I only care about proportion. Straight down, same curve along there. Here's our ground, and we might colour this one in. I'll do it quickly enough now with just a bit of green, and I want to go pretty heavy along the outsides. So I'm going to start off heavy along the outsides, and I'll just lighten it off then as I come in. Okay, so I'm not going to spend too long doing this now, and again heavy up along here and lighten it off. Heavy, getting lighter, heavy up here, getting lighter. And I'll also just go a bit heavy along the bottom here as well. Okay, so that's going to do for that. And you could of course colour in your horizontal plane a different colour. So there is our bin. Sorry guys, I forgot to focus that camera there, so I just started off with the top, ellipse on top, I'll put another small one beside it, so ellipse on top, down, down, out, out, a curve, down, down, a curve, and then a surface underneath. So there's our two bottles and that. Now I want to move on and have a look at the salt container here. Now again, most importantly, starting off, how tall is the tallest part of it? So 94 and 6 is 100, and 30 and 5, so 135 is the tallest part of it. So let's deal with that first. So I want to come down 145 or 50 to put my line across. So, and again now, so that's going to give me enough room there for 135 easily. Now, so guys, now how wide? The base is 19, but again I'm going to draw the top view first with the circles. So the main body of this is radius 25 for the main body. The top is 15 and the bottom is 19. But radius 25. So what I'm going to do there is come down around 40 and mark the center. That's going to be my center. And I want to mark radius 25. And I'm going to again draw the circles first, if you can. So there's my radius 25. Now just have a look there next. Now the top is 15 radius and the underneath it slopes in radius 19. So I need a 15 and a hidden one 19. So here's my 15 and I'm going to have a hidden 19. So I'll do the 15 first. So there's the top. And this one then is hidden detail. So that's a dotted circle. Like that. So now, if you wanted to know, I'm going to bring up the dotted points here first, because that's going to give me, and I want them on the ground up here. So the dotted lines come up first of all, and then the sides. Now, let's go back and have a look at this. So the slopey, chamfery bit underneath here is 6 high and then 94 of the wide part. So 6 and 94. They are the heights we want. So I'll measure up here on the left. There's 6 and 94. Now that worked out handy because 6 and 94 is 100. So I'm going to draw that line across here for the curve 6. That slopes down and in to here. So there's the curve on the bottom, and here is the top of the wide part. There's the main body. So now, next we have then a 30 high and a 5 high. And the narrow neck here in this is 15. So the heights are 30 and 5. So let's step out our 30. So I'll just bring this up light. There's 30. There's 5. So they're the heights that I want. So I'll bring them across light. And I'm also going to bring up the center here now on this light as well. There's my center line I'll heavy it in a little bit more there so you can see it on that. Okay, so there's my center line, but that's meant to be very light, but I want to make sure you can see it. Now the top of this bottle is radius 15. Now I can bring it up from here if I want. I can project it up from the plane, or I could go 15 to either side, but I'm going to bring it up from the plane. So the radius 15 in line with that, and then in line with the other side of the top, which is there. So if I measure that now, that has to be 30 wide, which it is. So I'll heavy that in, heavy this in. So there's the very top, and here is the cone part of it then where it slopes down. And that is our salt bottle drawn. So let's just have a go there next at drawing a freehand sketch of this. Now we don't care about the size, and we'll start on top. So there is the top, comes down just a little bit. Don't care about the measurements. We'll try and get the proportion kind of right. Now it's kind of steep enough here going down and out. Steep enough here going down and out. Bottom curve, then straight down. And straight down. And we'll curve that same curve as we have up there roughly, and then it narrows in. So I want to just narrow this in here a little bit, narrow that in there a little bit, and roughly the same curve along the bottom again. There's our surface underneath, and I will colour in the base of this. So I'll just, to brighten it up there, I'll put a blue on this. Now I know because this was a salt shaker that is meant to be white, which they generally are. We'll just have a look at the photograph there now in a second. So there's our photograph, but we will just do the red top. If I can find a red colouring pencil. So I'll put that in dark there to the outside. Dark to the outside. You can go good and heavy in that. Lighten off as you're coming in here. So there's our top, and we won't attempt the label because that could be too difficult. Now you could just say to hell with it, I'm going to put a different colour on this, and if you did decide to do that, don't worry about it, like it's fine. If you do decide to put a colour on it, you could go with something there and just say I'm going to make this golden, and doesn't matter, just to practice your rendering and shading and stuff. So we'll go heavy to the outside. So I'm leaning now good and hard on that. That's pretty much as heavy as I can go on it. And then I'm going to just lighten there now, but make sure you follow the slopes. Okay. Go with the sort of vertical, getting a bit lighter coming in there towards the center. And I'll just put this bottom curve in a bit heavier here as well. Okay, so there's our container, and just to be aware there, and it's a very good thing if you could do it, is if you were to analyze this and break it apart, the top of this is a cylinder and the middle section is what's called a truncated cone or a cut cone, because that there would be a cone, but it's the top of it's chopped off. And then you've got another cylinder coming down here, and down at the bottom there you've actually got an upside down cone. So the four shapes that are involved in that is I guess there's two shapes, but there's a cylinder, a truncated cone, another cylinder, and an upside down truncated cone. And that's a very good thing to do, to analyze those shapes. And over here we've kind of got the same thing. We've got a cylinder up on top. Then we've got a truncated cone, which is a cone with the top of it chopped off. And then we've got another cylinder down here. And that's the three shapes that make up our silo, and and over here we've got the shapes that make up our salt container. So, and you could name them if you want. There you've got truncated cone, you've got a cylinder, truncated cone, and that's also a truncated cone. Okay, so that there was exercise 15.1, question 1. So I look forward to seeing how that one comes out. Best of luck with it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that. See you later. Slán.